Hi, I'm Zini from Bren Victress. I play Initiator and Sentinel for the team. And today I'm gonna teach you how to use agents for tournaments or just for comp. So for starters, I'll always try to check if my sense is still the same. Like I make a dot on this thing and then like just try tracking. If my crosshair cannot catch up, it means my sense change or like I'm not comfortable. Then if I check my sense is still the same, I just pop in practice for like 3 minutes or so. Also, I try to use other guns, sheriff. If you're not comfortable with your sense, if you're not tracking well, like this one, I'm not good at tracking, but this is my comfortable sense. I think my warm up is more on movement, counter strafing, something like that. Also, just aim comfortably. For me, that's the secret for consistent aim. Just start medium bots. Tapping.
I am the hunter!
Okay, so basically, playing Sova is more on supporting your teammates and gathering info. I think Sova's really worth is for info because he has recon and drone. When I practice Sova, usually in Ascent, first you need to learn a lot of recons. Like, there's a lot of recons in this. Well, you can just throw some straightforward recons and stuff for info. But most of the time, I think you also need to learn lineups because you can't just always straightforward recon everything. When I'm playing Sova in B, usually in defending, either I just recon outside B for early info or I manually pick it, like jiggle it. It's always depending on how the enemy team plays. Like if they play so slow, you don't wanna use your recon too early because it might just be a waste of utility. At the beginning of the round, like jiggle. If I don't see anyone, like after 20 seconds or so, I'll just try to like recon something like that. If there's no one, I'll just close the door and then rotate. Like this one is clear, right? I just try to use my drone to like check mid. Sova isn't staying on one side only. Well, he can play like that in some situations like Sentinel or like you let Sova just hold an area just by getting info. But most of the time, Sova runs around the map to get infos everywhere. Like if he clears this, he just go mid and like drone or something, get info, jump here. If it gets into late game, you just really just choose one site. In 1 minute and 40 seconds, you have at least three. Only two most of the time, but my first recon is for info, and like my second recon, I'll try to save it for execution. For example, they smoke this heaven and then short. Either I play heaven, I play a lineup like this for push, and then like I go into the smoke and like spray whenever I scan someone. For shock darts, it's either for the enemies or the traps. For example, Cypher is always placing traps here. Either do this shock dart early in the round, something like this, to destroy the trap, or if the enemy, you feel like the enemy team is rushing, like they always rush B, or just a prediction, just shock dart this also in early round when they planting. I can do it like this, shock dart, or like you just wanna clear up a position because they won't stay in the same place when you shock dart them like most of the time. Like if you shock dart this one, you might expect them to like move
Right
out
here.
or for a bit. Oh, also in recons, I think in late rounds or like you can try to save your recon for also retake, not just execution.
Revealing area.
Like when the enemies are executing, I mean. Also your drone, you can like just play B using recon and you can just
Right here.
jiggle a place. Most of the time, if I play Soba, I can save recon just by jump spotting mid most of the time, like either here or here. If you feel like they are playing
Right here.
close, you can just reconnect
Scanning ahead.
close one. This will scan this, or like
Scanning ahead.
here, this can also scan this one. So yeah, it's depending on situations most of the time, and also I think playing Sova depends on your gut feeling, something like that. If there's enemy, he go backs, try to delay with shock darts only.
Shock dart.
Most of the time, either you play CT. I like to play here most of the time if I'm anchoring one side. If they're like coming in, just need to recon this.
Scanning ahead.
Try to wallbang or like go here, wallbang the people going in. I think attacking has more lineups than defending. Also, being as initiator in the team, you set pace for the team. Like you tell them, let's take aim in fast. You can just
Revealing area.
recon, then your team can actually just you guys can rush actually with this, especially if the enemy team likes to fight aim in, you can cut them off guard. I think in higher elos only, alone initiator can actually just bait out the rotation in just one side of the map. For example, even if Sova is alone in A long, and then your teammates are like most of them are in B lobby, you can just really do this one and then try to fight and not die. Like you push them back, so they will be forced to rotate one guy from
Right
B
here.
to go like take mid
Right here.
or tree or heaven. Also drone, like for example, you have a ult, you can drone early if they're always fighting aim in, and then like tag and then ult and then let your teammates go in along with the ult. Like you can isolate some spaces with just the ult, and it really helps your team go in. Also in playing slow, they play a big role in like defaults. Like you recon mid, you take the mid control early, bait up the rotation. You recon this, you take
Right here.
pizza. You can just really go back here. Like even if you're alone, you can just go back here
Deploying drone.
and drone. Usually it baits out the rotation of the B players. I think that's it for Sova.